It's Wednesday night, Wednesday the 8th of June 2022. A very good evening to you and welcome to our little chat show coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. It's rather warm in here, I must admit. I've just opened the door out there at the luxury Waterside Media Centre to let a bit of draft in, dear. It's a bit warm. Been a nice day here. Little bit of sun, little bit of rain. My sister kindly came round earlier. And she was supposed to paint my... should I just push myself up a little bit more? Is that loud enough for you? There you go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Just a minute. Let me make small adjustments, dear. Ongoing. Shall I turn it up there? Turn it up a little bit there. That's better. Yeah, she was supposed to come and... well, she did. She came up to paint my veranda today with me. But there was rain forecast. In fact, it said there was going to be lightning earlier. It looked like there was a storm coming. So she didn't do it. Although she painted the table. I've got this like wooden table at the front of the veranda. And she did that. And it's come out quite really well, actually. Although she said the stuff is quite difficult to use. It's Ronseal stain of some sort. Some sort of stain. But she did it and it looks really nice. But I've just checked the weather for tomorrow, and funnily enough I just spoke to her on the phone now, and tomorrow and Friday it says it's not going to rain at all. It's going to be like sunny most of the time, and then she kindly said so she'd come back tomorrow, which would cost me a lunch, but worth it, darling. You know, worth it. How are you today? Can I just tell you, last week seemed to be, and you never really know these things sometimes until after the show, seemed to be a bit of a trouble sending in text messages last week. And the next morning, as in Thursday morning, I used the same text number from my radio show when people want to send messages and that sort of thing in. And a load of messages dropped in from the chat show the night before. So that's just the way it is sometimes. Sometimes that happens. I was always surprised at some people who think they've kind of been picked out so that they don't get their messages read out. That never happens, okay? Sometimes they get a little bit delayed in the system. Don't know why. Nothing to do with me. And unfortunately, that's just how it is, all right? If you want to send me a direct message, I'll be in and out of the chat show. Okay, I'll be in and out of the chat box now and again. But if you want to jump the chat box in case I miss your message and send me a direct message, just send it up there. Use the text number, which I think is working all right tonight. 07451 287 337 is my text number, all right? 07451 287 337. So that was the message problem that we had last week. I meant to tell you, that tin of stain, it's Ronseal. I haven't got it with me, actually. I've put it outside. This big 5-litre tin of Ronseal, like, decking stain. I first went to Sainsbury's Homebase to get that. And I went in there. Very, very helpful old man giving out the baskets. I mean, not just at Homebase. Do they still do the same at B&Q still? They have, like, an old man who gives out... who for some reason gives out the baskets as you walk in the door, don't you? There's always one at Homebase, and he was there, and I said, "Can you tell us where the decking stuff?" "Yeah, it's just over there, mate. Just go down the third aisle there, where you see the blue tins. Thank you very much." And up I went, and there it was. And of course, there's all this different stuff there. I don't know what I'm buying: decking stain, decking paint, you know. And I've often come across this problem where you know someone who's good at perhaps DIY or even like a professional painter, and I've had professional painters in the house before, and they send you out for something. And I say to them, "No, I'll get the wrong thing. No, you won't. It's easy. All you need to do is get this." And then you go there and you come back and you've got the wrong thing. "Oh, not that one." "Well, I told you I'd come back with the wrong damn thing." "Well, she did it earlier, my sister." "Oh, you should have got decking paint, not stain." "Well, why didn't you say that then? Why didn't you say that? How am I supposed to know? I do not do DIY through choice. Don't want to do it." Anyway, so I got this stuff there, and I stood there and I thought, well, I'll get the stain. And then I looked, 50 quid. 50 quid for 5 litres of this bleeding stuff. Anyway, so I'm straight on the Google, aren't I? And up it came, Amazon, £35. Same thing. Exactly the same thing, £35. So, excellent. So, armed with my mobile phone, I went to the customer service desk. Good afternoon, customer services. My name's Sharon. How can I help you with your inquiry? Oh, hello. You're selling this. Do you do price matching? Yes, we do, sir. Okay, I've just got this from over there. It's £50 on your thing. On Amazon, it's 35. Can you match that? Ah, we don't price match Amazon. Oh, well, thanks very much. Bye, bitch. And off I went. Plonked it down on the counter and went. Another sale lost. Oh, well, unlucky. So always when you're out somewhere, check on there, and Amazon usually it would have been there the next day. Unfortunately, because of course we've had the bank holiday business and the wonderful Jubilee celebrations. Celebration time. Come on. Da 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 da. Yeah, look here. Look. I've still got another I've got two of these Union Jack jackets, and of course today I'm wearing my Blue Peter badge that I won when I was about 13 years old, which just seems like yesterday. I remember this coming in the post. Yes. Have you got a Blue Peter badge? Have you, lovey? No Blue Peter badge? Oh, not clever enough. Oh, never mind. As I'm sure this was actually packaged and placed in the envelope by John Noakes himself. No longer with us, God rest his soul, the great John Noakes. Why is Blue Peter now run by kids? Have you noticed that? Why are all the kids' programmes run by kids now? Yeah, about 22 years old. Oh, hello, welcome to Children's BBC. Where's the old people? Where's the middle-aged aunties and uncles that we all used to love so much? Peter Purves, Valerie Singleton, Leslie Judge, John Noakes. Where are all these people? Eh? They're not there anymore, are they? All replaced by children who haven't got a clue what to say. Oh, really clever. No, you're not. You're reading a script in front of you, mate, off a camera. You don't have a personality, not like John Noakes. How many of you have gone up to the top of Nelson's column to clean his bits and pieces? That's frightening, that is. Have you seen that? It's on YouTube. I think it's on TikTok as well. Type in John Noakes climbs Nelson's column. You will have your heart in your mouth watching that. He literally climbs up this bit. And when you get to the top, right, where kind of Nelson is standing, it comes out like that. So the ladder goes up like this, and at the top, it comes out like this, as you have to go round it. Sod that, mate. Haven't they got a long jet wash? Like that. Or one of those kids' guns. You know those kids' guns that you fill with water and pump it out? I must get a very large one of those to attack great nieces and nephews with soon. I'm so naughty. Yes, it's a... No, it's not a Jim will fix it badge. It's a Blue Peter badge. Great people. John Noakes, dear. Yeah. Rolf... Oh, maybe not so much Rolf. Oh, I don't know, dear. Anyway, so always check on Amazon to get your stuff and what have you. I forgot where I was going with that story now. I've completely lost my place. That's your fault. Your fault. What was I saying then? Someone tell me what I was talking about then. We're talking about John Noakes. What was before that? How did we get onto John Noakes, for God's sake? Oh, anyway. Oh, yes, the bank holiday Jubilee. Yeah, it's coming back into my head now. Come into my head. Come into my life. Yeah, got it. Right, yes, Jubilee. I'm still in Jubilee celebrations at the moment. Absolutely. Are you? Got two of these jackets. Lovely, aren't they? Only about 30 quid each off Amazon. Type it on Amazon, novelty jackets. So, because of the Jubilee celebrations, of course, Amazon stuff was delayed by a couple of days, and it said it would arrive on Tuesday. So I ordered it on Wednesday, and then it was bank holiday on Thursday, wasn't it? You see, and I completely forgot. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it did indeed arrive Tuesday afternoon, which was handy. And my sister popped over today to do it. But then when we looked at the weather forecast, and as I say, it was going to be raining and thunder and lightning, except that it didn't happen. We had a tiny little bit of rain. I mean, really small amount of rain came down. So we could have done it today, but she's going to come around tomorrow again and do that then. All right, let's read some of your text messages out then, my darlings. Good evening to Gary Ross. Evening to you, Gary. Looking forward to the show tonight. Evening, Gary. Nice to see you there, over there in Northern Ireland. Good evening to George Bond. Evening, George. John Parrish is in the house. Good evening, George. John. Yes, you're one of the people whose messages got stuck last week. And your messages that you sent was no more tips. I'm afraid times are hard these days. What with that bumper pension that you get? God's sake, man. Can't even send me £1 now and again. Well, we might have to cut the show short. Can I afford the electricity for 2 hours every Wednesday? That's the question you want to be asking yourself. Talking of which, I've got this power meter thing over there. Let me show you. Oh, where's my phone? Oh, I can't take a photo. Hang on, let me go and see if I've left it out here. Might have left it out here. One minute. Telephone, where are you? Oh, I don't know where that is now. Oh, there it is. Found it. It's okay, everyone, I found it. Yeah, I'm constantly looking now. I mean, we shouldn't have to do this in 2022, should we? I'm constantly looking now at ways to save energy. And I've got this meter thing here. Actually, you might... Oh, yes, you can see it. Hang on, let's just do that. There we go. So I've got this meter that I bought off the Amazon. And it tells you how much electricity you're sucking out of the grid. I've had this for a while, this meter here. And at the moment, sitting in here, doing this show at the moment, this meter is telling me I'm using 213.8 watts. Okay, can you see that there? And what's that bit at the bottom there? I don't know what that bit... that says the time, 17:30, which of course it isn't, but I haven't bothered setting the time because I physically turn that off when I'm not here, you see. Don't need it on. So 213.8 watts is what I'm sucking out of the grid to do this show. Anyway, when I finished the radio show this morning, went swimming, come back here, and I have everything plugged in and set while I'm up here on standby, I suppose, really. And I looked at my meter and it said 18 watts. And everything's off. 18 watts. It's not an enormous amount, 18 watts, but, you add these things up, and I've said to you this before, you add all these little things up, you've got that on there. Maybe the TV's on standby. Maybe your, the speakers, what do you call it, soundbar? That's on. All this stuff's on standby. And you add up 18 there, 10 there, 10 there, and it all adds up. So I think we're now at the stage where we have to look at even the smallest amount and perhaps cut that out. And I'm looking at this thing, 18, what's causing that then? In this purpose-built television studio here in Lincolnshire, I have 2 monitors, one here, right? I have a mixer, which works all the sound, that's there. And I have 2 computers, and I have a external hard drive, which holds all the music. And I also have an amplifier down there when I listen to people calling in. When we open the phone lines later on, I will use the amplifier for that. And the amplifier has a clock on it. So I started turning stuff off. I wanted to leave the computers on, because the computers are usually plugged in. Although off, they will draw a small amount of electricity because they've got batteries in, right? And it's constantly a little trickle going in there. Not much at all, very negligible amount of electricity. So I started turning things off, and I turned the monitor off immediately. At the plug socket, and immediately it went down a couple of watts. Okay, fair enough. Then and to be honest, it's a bit of a mess of wires down there. Do you know what I mean? The wires are all jumbled together, a bit of a nightmare. When something goes wrong, I have to tug a wire and see where it goes. It's a bit like that here, right? Okay. Anyway, so then I turned another switch off, and it went from 18 watts to 4. And I thought, blimey, what's drawing that? And I looked around at what was off, and it was the amplifier with the clock on it. Seriously, on standby, that is drawing about 15 watts. Turn it off, and it dropped down, right down to 3 watts. Then I turned another monitor off, and it went down another 1.5 watts. And by the time I turned everything off, right, and all I have was the 2 computers plugged in and off, right, 1.5 watts. That's all. So it just goes to show you, doesn't it, eh? Just goes to show you. Go around the house and get these. You can get little smart plugs. Now, the smart plugs themselves are drawing a small amount of electricity. I think it's about a half a watt. But, when you plug that into your telly, right, and start turning it off like that, because you can't be asked to go over and turn the telly off on the power button. Remember, standby is not off. Okay, standby is drawing electricity, and God knows some of your electricity bills, which you've been telling me about, but privately by email, I can't get over them. Now I've just had my electric and gas bill. We weren't going to do this today, were we? We certainly weren't going to do this today. I've just had my latest electricity and gas bill. Let me see if my address is on there. We can't have that. Oh, there's my postcode. You're not knowing that. So my electric bill was £43.62, of which about £15 was bloody standing charge, which we can do nothing about. £43 electric and £14 gas, of which £8 was standing charge. You know, so my total electric and gas bill for last month, so that's the 4th of May to the 3rd of June, was £56.37. That's at home. I do have a separate bill for here, but I'm not here very much, so that's only a small amount. So I'm quite happy with that, you know. But I'm always looking at ways of reducing it even further, if I possibly can. And that would be my advice to you. Go around the house and look at everything that's on standby and turn the damn thing off at the plug or pull the plug out. Pull the plug out, no electricity being used. All right, my loves. Good evening. Sorry, John was saying... I think we did... that won't relate to today's show, so there we are. Yeah, good evening to you, John. Good evening to Shania on the Isle of Wight. Evening, Shania. Evening to Jason Hughes. Good evening to Maureen. She stayed in last night rather than playing the karaoke. As you sent this earlier, didn't you? She was going to go, doesn't go to karaoke on Tuesday. She was watching her Jubilee TV programs. Did you see the concert yet, Maureen? It's very good, isn't it? That concert from the Palace. I mean, I was supposed to do a little bit of a karaoke session there, but unfortunately I was working at Central Station, so I had to turn down Her Majesty. She didn't mind. She didn't really mind. She's not been to Zodiac Bar yet. Thank you, Maureen. There are some fairly steep stairs at Zodiac Bar. I must warn you that, Maureen, going down to the basement. I've only been once, a few Tuesdays ago when I took my friend Chris there. But there's some... when they go downstairs, there's some quite steep stairs down there. All right, my love. Good evening to Steve in Dagenham. Evening, Steve. Who says, it wasn't you who wrecked the Blue Peter garden, was it? No, we were in tears, dear. Do you remember when... apparently that happened a couple of times. It wasn't just the once. They went in... I remember that. I remember. These kids went in... there was no security cameras those days. There was no CCTV. But someone went in... it might have been kids, might have been someone else. They went in and wrecked the Blue Peter garden. And they even poured oil in the pond, and that killed all the fish. I remember Leslie Judd told us about that, didn't she? Some very bad people got into the garden. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Hello to Greg. Good evening, Greg, who says, evening, Chris, hope you're well. You tight sod, Chris. If I've learnt anything recently, it's life is too short. Spend the money, you can't take it with you. Thank you, Greg. Life is very short. Life is very short. I just said to you a moment ago, so what was I saying? Something I did at 13 or whatever. Yeah, the Blue Peter badge I got when I was 13. Now I'm 59. It's like it was yesterday. And it's been a year since the worst of the pandemic was over. Still not over. But the worst of it is we're not locked in anymore, are we? I wonder if that'll happen again in our lifetimes, you know. Will we have to stay at home again, I wonder? Gary says, I love your Lego camper van with speedboat. Well, there's a little story there as well, actually. Okay, that has been in like a cheap glass camp, you know, like those wall units they have in caravans, got a bit of glass in front of it. It was in there, and I was just literally closing one of the doors and locking it before I came on stream tonight. And I thought, you know, I'll move what I've normally got there and pick up the camper van. Well, I picked that up. The entire bloody thing fell apart. I kid you not. And there's now bits you can't tell, obviously, but I know. And there's now bits missing at the top, which are now on a table out there, and I ain't got a clue where they've come from. The door's open and all on this, look. Or they did. Hang on, how did the doors open? Oh, I don't dare move it again. Was it here? There's a little door that opens there. I think it's the other side. Oh, it's the other side. Hang on. Let's just turn that round now. There we are. Look, this. Oh, see, that's coming up. It's all falling apart. Oh, that's your fault, Gary. Why'd you have to mention it? It's your fault. And these doors open and you can see inside it, I think, somehow. Hang on. Oh, I don't know how to do it now. They did open anyway. Hang on. Maybe is it the other side? No, I don't know how it opens now. But the whole side of it open. Look, all this has come off now. That's your fault, Gary. Oh. I don't know if I still got the instruction book for that. I like Lego. I find that very very calming, don't you? Evening to Diane Jeb. Hello, Diane. And Adam the plumber's there. Hello, Adam. He says, hi, Chris. He's getting married in August, Adam. Hi, I'll be there at the wedding. Hi, Chris. You're talking about electricity prices and unplugging everything. One of biggest offenders is the laptop charger. Yes, I've mentioned that, Adam. £60 a year, that is, to leave that plugged in. Yeah, £60 a year to leave a laptop. When it's charged, pull the plug out. Even if it's not charging, it is sucking electricity out of your system, out of the grid, and it's costing you money. Anything that's been charged, right, when it's finished charging, pull the plug out. That being said, apparently the charger for an iPhone uses a very small amount of electricity left charging. So, but every little helps, as you say. Every little helps, okay? Evening to Dan Woodhouse. Evening to Andrews Mowers and Small Engines. Good evening to you, sir. Who else we got here? SCTV is in the house. Good evening, Chris. Hello to you, Chris. Chris doesn't think I'm wearing pants again. Going commando. Correct. I don't wear pants very often. I wear them when I've got jeans on because it rubs a bit, doesn't it? You know, the quality. Although you can get soft denim, which isn't bad. You know, difficult to find normal clothes anymore. Slim fit. Everything is slim fit. The thing is, you would think if you get slim fit, then you just go up a couple of sizes. But it doesn't seem to work like that. I don't know why. Okay. Hello to Tom. Hello, Tommy Flynn. Good evening to you. Derek Martin in the house there. Good evening to you, Derek. Kevin Woodruff. Evening to you, sir. We're all together tonight, aren't we? Have you got nothing else to do? Christina Hunt's in the house. Good evening, Christina. And I think that's included everyone tonight, is it? If I've missed you out, remember I don't always see all the chat in front of me because there's always people chatting to each other. Just send us a text 07451 287 337. And Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning is in the house. Vera's Choice in the Morning. Reach on air. Evening, Vera. Do we know how last night went at the William Morris? Was that any good last night? I haven't heard from Paul at all or anything like that. Okay. Right, let's move on then. What have we got in the show today? First of all, Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning now has one of those air fryers. Now, we were talking about that perhaps on the radio show rather than the chat show. I can't remember if we were talking about the chat show last week, but my sister's got an air fryer. She's got the market leader, the Ninja one, which has got two little drawers. Now, when you look at it, I must say, when you look at it, you don't think you could get many chips in there. I'm a bit of a greedy bastard when it comes to chips. You know, I like a decent portion of chips, although not as many as I got the other night, which I'll come to in a moment. And I looked at my sister's drawers. I looked at the drawers in my sister's Ninja thing. Please, I don't want to see my sister's drawers. My God, if I wanted to go camping in a tent, I'd borrow my sister's drawers. We might get in there with a pole upside the middle of them. And I thought, I won't get many chips in there. But that being said, she done us some roast potatoes the other night, on Sunday night in this machine, and they come out lovely, to be honest. Well, Vera heard all this, and she was tempted to buy one. And Vera works at Sainsbury's, so obviously, you work in a supermarket, you get various different discounts. And she's bought one now. Vera's bought the Tower one, which is that one there. Okay? And again, I look at that, and I think that drawer is not very big, but it is. And Vera says she had enough chips in there. You put everything in there at the same time, the burger and everything apparently, right? That is clearly a one drawer one, and I have seen this on sale in Argos for about £50. Now, I don't have one of these. If you have a family, I don't think it's going to be any good for you because obviously that's more of a sort of that's not like 2 portions of chips in there, is it? It's 1 portion of chips, and certainly when my mate comes round several times a week, actually, he'll have lunch with me and the oven. Have it all on timer. By the time we get back from swimming, usually the chips or whatever is in the oven is done. And it's quite a nice way of doing it. And of course, it's big, so we can have decent sizes. There's no way you could get in that little drawer the amount of chips that me and my mate have when I do chips, in the oven. But that being said, it's really good. And Vera has now tried it out. And she emails, I've just tried out the air fryer. And she says, what a dream. Have you got one? Any of you got an air fryer? What models have you got? My nephew's got one as well. He didn't get the Ninja. I can't remember what make one he's got, but they're loving it as well. My nephew's wife and him. Vera says, just tried out the air fryer and what a dream. Chips cooked right through and crispy on the outside and also the onion rings too. It's also quicker than my oven. I highly recommend it. So that's the one she's got. The Tower, I think it's the 5-litre Tower one. There it is again. And you can get that one from Argos, okay, for about 50 quid, I believe it is, about 50 quid off Argos. All right. So do you have one of those at all? I had a Tower one years ago. I think it was Tower, but it was very much like a goldfish bowl. It was this huge glass thing, right? And the lid was quite a heavy thing, and you literally put your stuff in this glass thing, put the lid on and turn it on, and the whole thing glowed red. But on the first use, I discovered how hot that glass become, and that worried me, that did. That it could suddenly like burst into small little pieces of glass everywhere. And it took forever to do these chips. Honestly, it took ages and ages to do these chips. So I think I might have bought, I don't know what it was that I bought. It was more like an infrared thing, to be honest. The whole thing was glowing red. So I sent it back to Amazon after using it twice, and they took it back quite happily. No problem at all. So maybe I got the wrong one. Have any of you got air fryers at all? What ones have you got? Fran says, you missed me. Good evening, Chris. Hope you are well. Good evening to you, Fran. As I say, Fran, yeah, always, if I miss you on the chat box, just drop us a little text up there and I'll get that. All right, my love. John Paris said, it was a halogen oven. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Well, the halogen oven was absolutely useless, John. Absolutely useless. Didn't work at all for me. So there we are. I don't know if any of you have got one. Jason Hughes says, you want a big boy air fryer. Is that such a thing? Is that such a thing? Big boy air fryer. Let me have a look. Is that a thing, or is it just a stupid comment? They have a Big Boss one. 1,300 watts. How much is that one? Oh, now you see that looks like the other thing that I had. It's a glass bowl. No, I don't like the look of those glass ones. It says it's an air fryer. That looks just like the one I had. The big was it Big Boss air fryer? That one. No, I don't like the look of that one, Jason. We'll leave that one. Thank you, Jason. Good evening to Rebel Burnt. Evening. Chris bought a goldfish bowl instead of an air fryer. Back there. 1 second. Have you lost my picture? Hang on. Let's put that on there. See if we can get back to that. There we are. Don't worry about a little bit of picture jumping now and again. That sometimes happens, my love, if we get disconnected on the 4G system there. All right. Where are we there? Andrews Mowers. Thank you very much, Andrews Mowers. Yes, indeed. Just subscribe here, my darlings. Just subscribe here. MP Dodsworth, halogen oven. Yes, indeed. It must have been a halogen oven, mustn't it? One of those things. Good. Okie doke. I was saying about the amount of chips that I had. My nephew took me to this chip shop the other day on, I think it was Tuesday night. It was Monday night. I said, let's go to Skegness or somewhere if you want some chips. So we decided to go out for chips. But instead of going to Skegness, we went for a walk along the river. And we had a lovely walk along this river. I've got some pictures here, I think. Oh, where is it now? Here we are. There's a little picture of the river walk that we went on the other day. Little video there. That's my nephew Gary. There's his wife Stacey, great nephew Harry in orange there, and Evie there. And we had a lovely little walk up there. Ever so nice. And then also on our walk, we saw bear sheep, and they wanted to go and stroke these things. Look at them. Come on, Uncle Chris, let's go and stroke the sheep. Not with those bleeding horns on them. You don't want one of those up you, do you? Dangerous things. Danger. We thought they were goats at first, but of course they are indeed rams, aren't they? Did you... there. Yeah. And after we did that, we went to have fish and chips. And Gary took me to this place in Metheringham, which I'd never been to before. Lovely little place it was, actually. And it's weird. It's not on the main road at all. It's kind of down a residential road, and it's like they've converted the front of their house to a chip shop. And it sticks out. Does it stick out a bit? I can't remember. Anyway, and at the front, they've got a couple of benches, right? And then you go in. Middle-aged, sort of... as in, when I say middle-aged, low middle-aged, not like 59, sort of more like probably 46, 47, the pair of them were. Maybe around that age. Okay, lovely, beautiful, wonderful Asian couple running that. And they were so nice and so polite to us. Anyway, so I looked at the thing, and I always get my nephew to order their stuff first. So he's ordered his stuff, large chips, Savaloy for Harry. I think Evie had a Savaloy as well. Stacey had a chicken burger, and he had, I don't know what he had. He usually has a pie of some sort, maybe a pie or something else. Anyway, so that was it. And then I ordered mine, and I said, right, I'll have large chips, please. At which point I could hear my nephew chuckling to himself. He does that a lot. It's a weird thing, really. He just suddenly chuckles to himself for no reason. And I looked around, I said, what's wrong here? He said, nothing. Okay. I said, I'll have large chips, please. I could hear him chuckle again. Right. I said, I'll have a pineapple fritter. I'll have some beans, please. And that's what I normally have when I go out. Sometimes I'll have a normal one. Sometimes I have a normal one, but no, I had the large one today. Okay. So that was it. So we stood over to the side while the lady was doing someone else's dinner. She's wrapping them up. She had this great big blooming thing of chips, and shoveling these chips on this plate, and then wraps them all up. Blimey, that's a large portion. Anyway, so I kind of turned around, and then that's it. And it was our turn, and she's doing these chips and things. I'm not really paying much attention. Thanks very much. And out we went. We got 5 drinks as well, and all that, and five cans of drink. All that come to £22. Blimey, that's a bargain. Now, me and my mate, we go out in Bracknell. We have, usually once a week, I'll have halloumi burger and chips, and he'll have a haddock and chips, and he'll have a can of drink, and I'll have a cup of tea. And that's like £24 for 2 of us. All what we had there, £22 for the whole lot. 1, 2, 3 adult meals, 2 children's meals. Bargain. And that's the Great Barrier Reef in Metheringham. Okay? You will have to use a sat-nav. If you're in Lincolnshire and you're sort of that way, Metheringham way, do go and give that a check out. We were very impressed. We're very impressed anyway. So I've got this packet of things, so I open it. Oh, that's yours. And then I open my chips. Oh my God, I've never seen so many chips in my life. Large, blooming giant. And I do not leave food. Not Monday night. I didn't. I had to eat. I had to chuck half of them away. This meal was absolutely enormous. Enormous. The pineapple, beautiful. The beans, beautiful. The chips, beautiful. But so many of them. And Gary's now laughing. He said, that's why I only bought 1 large chips for all of us. That was done 4 of them. Because my nephew's wife, she's not eating many chips and things like that at the moment. She's been on a bit of a weight loss thing and has lost 4 stone. Fantastic. Not easy. It actually does get easier as you go along. If you start losing the weight, I think that kind of eggs you on to lose more. I mean, I've certainly been a bit like that before. Once you start losing that first, if you lose a couple of pounds in a week, then you think, wow, this is working. And then you carry on. If you start cheating a little bit and I haven't lost anything. And that's really depressing. It's really depressing to be overweight and not being able to do anything about it because you think you are, but now and again you cheat. A couple of bags of crisps here, which is all right, perhaps once a week. Funnily enough, my mate sent me a little picture last night, and it was to do with Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Let's see if I've still got it here. There it is. Here we go. 1 tub of Ben and Jerry's ice cream contains as many calories as 10 cans of Coke. And I don't know what a Turkey Hill is. It says a Turkey Hill container can have more salt than 6 portions of McDonald's fries. So, Ben and Jerry's. I mean, we know how sweet it is, and it is very delicious. The only thing that's really stopped me eating Ben and Jerry's is the blooming price of it. It's like £5.50 in the bleeding co-op. £5. They've usually got one on special offer, to be fair. £5.50 for a tub of Ben and Jerry's at the co-op. Outrageous, isn't it? And that stops me spending it. So that's a good thing. But really, you shouldn't be eating all that sugar, should you? Anyway, that was my chips the other night. Gary said should have bought them back for Merlin. I don't know, do dogs eat chips? Not sure if the dogs eat chips or not. I remember that, John. I remember Steve Allen fell on top of his halogen oven and burnt all his chest and had to go straight to hospital. I remember that, John. That's a few years ago now, that one, isn't it? Falling on there. Yeah. Dodgy, very dodgy. Okay, so that's that. That wasn't the only chips I've had this week. I must admit, I went out with my friend yesterday. He lives in Cleethorpes. Okay, and there's a place that it's Papa something. Hang on, it's not Papa John's. Hang on, Cleethorpes Chips Pier. Let's see if that brings it up. Does it? Britain's best Papa's. Oh, it's just called Papa's, is it? I think it's just called Papa's. It's a fish and chip shop on Cleethorpes Pier. Again, if you're in the Cleethorpes area, I highly recommend. Last time I was there was about 3 years ago. And my mate lives there, Danny. Okay? Years ago, he used to live in London. And he lived with me for a while. A very good friend of mine, Danny. And we used to go out together. After I finished DJing, we'd go out somewhere together, and have a bit of fun wherever we were going, some nightclub or something like that. But he kind of fell off the rails a little bit and couldn't get out of it. So he moved out of London and sorted it. And he moved to Cleethorpes. So and he's done quite well there. He's now got a regular job and he's got his own place and all that. So sometimes you have to come out of whatever you're doing to sort your head out if you're not strong enough to deal with it there and then. And I went up there for the first time. I had a little job in Cleethorpes for a while at Silhouette's Bar doing the karaoke. And then the summer finished and I got cancelled. And then about a year, during the pandemic, it just closed. It closed and that was it. Apparently it wasn't the pandemic that closed it. They had a real problem with noise outside. Had a lot of complaints with people due to people making a lot of noise outside the bar. So that I'm not sure whether they closed themselves or they got closed down. So that was then. And then Danny came on the first night I was working there. And then I met up with him a little while later. And for the first time we went on this pier to this Papa's fish and chip shop. And there was my dinner from last night. And they do those square things. That is deep fried halloumi. It is absolutely delicious. What they do is the halloumi and they drizzle honey over it. And it is so nice. It is so blooming nice, I cannot tell you. And that's a decent meal. And we were quite full up after that. Now, the actual restaurant itself, and you'll see my mate here, okay, is a converted theatre. Here we go. And that's the sea out the window there. There's my mate. Try not to laugh. Look.
Don't look at the camera, Dan.
Look at him laugh. And it's got a big stage there, and it's a lovely, lovely place. We got there quite late, and it wasn't that busy at that time, as you can well see. All right, but that's Papa's on the pier at Cleethorpes, and that too is highly recommended. All right, Gary Ross is liking the look of those chips. I thought you might. Good evening to the dark side. Welcome hello to the show, the dark side. Thanks so much. Vera actually sent me in a thing of fish and chip shops. Where is it now? And I was most disappointed to find that none of the fish and chops that I've ever been to were on there. Let's see now. Lifeboat House, Cornwall, chip shop there. Coastline, Blythe in Northumberland. Do you know any of these? Anyone been to any of these? Beach Boys, Margate in Kent. Maggie's Cafe, Hastings in Sussex. Middle Street Fish Bar, Deal in Kent. Bardsley's, Brighton, East Sussex. Fish and Fritz, Weymouth, Dorset. Any of you been to any of these? Mersey Island Fish Bar, Essex. Dan, you been to that one? Adams Fish and Chip Shop, St Martin's, Isles of Scilly. Atkinson's, Morecambe, Lancaster. Aldborough Fish and Chip Shop in Suffolk. Coleman's, South Shields, Tyne and Wear. The Magpie Cafe, Yorkshire. Britannia on the Beach in Devon. Morton's, Ballycastle, County Antrim. East Pierce Smokehouse, St Monan's, Fife. The Bay, Stonehaven, Aberdeenshire. Frankie's Brae, Shetland Islands. D. Fecky and Sons, Tenby, Pembrokeshire. And Enoch's in Llandudno. Apparently they've all got really, really good names, but sadly I haven't been to any of those, unfortunately. Are any of those? Have you ever been to any of those at all? John Paris has been to the Mersey Island one. He says it's fantastic. Is it Santa Claus? I don't know. What's Santa Claus do? What's Father Christmas got to do with all this, Gary? You're looking too far ahead, Gary. Don't look forward to Christmas. You might not be here. Fran says, what, not even Montish Chip Shop at Mablethorpe? No, it wasn't there, Fran. Or Chunky Chips at Ingermells. Oh, Ingermells. Funny you should bring that up. Fran. So the first time ever I went to Ingermells this week. I wanted to go to the market, right? That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the market, and we went there because we had this is the day that my sister was supposed to come over and kindly do the veranda for me, but we had rain forecast, so we decided not to do it. And I'd mentioned that I wanted to go to the market at Ingermells on the radio show in the morning. She rang up, do you want to go today as we're not going to the thing? So I said yes. So went round, got my car out, picked up my sister and my brother-in-law, and off we went to Ingermells. So first of all, it's sort of, the drive is fine actually. If you want to send us an email and you can't text, there's the email address there. If you're outside the UK, you won't be able to use the text service because it doesn't always work. Oh, Stephen Coldham. Steve says, did you see the TikTok fish shop where people are travelling miles? Yeah. Binley Mega Chip Shop, that one. Binley Mega Chip Shop. I remember, yeah. It's all over TikTok. They're queuing out there. And everyone now who does TikToks is going, and the bloke who does Rate My Takeaway. I like him. He's been there as well, hasn't he? Rating Binley Mega Chip Shop. Apparently he had this meatball thing in a roll, and he really didn't like that at all. He said it was horrible. The bread was fine. It was the bit in the middle that he didn't like. Anyway, we digress. So we got there and we're driving along. I said, well, where are we going to park then? And my sister quickly spotted. She said, yeah, £4, park there all day. Okay. So we pulled in to this converted garden. It was obviously someone's garden. They had a large garden that had been converted into a car park, right? Okay, so we're pulling in. That's no problem at all. Well done, sis, I said. And a sign of park between the yellow lines. So we parked right between. Well, they put yellow bricks. It was all done proper. You know, they've got yellow bricks where to park in between, in the ground sort of thing. And like a stony type, floor. So I parked the car. And there's a big sign on the wall, please pay at the bungalow. Okay, I'll pay at the bungalow. So that must be the bungalow over there, right next to the car park. So we went there, and there's a big sign on the wall. Please, we're looking for a machine now. We're now looking for a machine, right? And it says, please fill out your registration number on the piece of paper, place it in a little plastic bag with the car parking fee, and post it in the letterbox. I thought, well, that all sounds very dodgy to me. What tax man is going to be able to keep an eye on how much money they're making? Anyway, so that's what. So I went in my wallet and I looked for the £3. Of course, we haven't got change, have we? I've got no change. I said, well, you got any, sis? She said, oh, I might be. Oh, no, I haven't got any. Of course, Martin has got no change either. And immediately I blamed my sister for some reason. Well, didn't you know? I said, didn't you know it was like this? You must have known that before we come here. And Martin said, come on, we'll go down the road. There's a pound shop down there. So I'm now panicking because I panic about getting tickets for my car. Speeding tickets, parking tickets. I worry so much about that. I'm very, very careful. Amount of times I've been in my car, right, and it's been like no right turn or do not enter, and my mate's sitting behind me. Oh, don't worry, we all go down there. No, if I go down there, I'll be the one that gets the ticket. Guarantee, I won't do it. Very careful with speed on the roads, everything. Terrified of getting tickets for anything. And it's not a small amount of money, is it? When you get a ticket for something, it's not a small amount of money. And there's a sign there, CCTV in operation. If you don't pay, you will be clamped and a £50 removal fee. Well, don't we want to be paying £50, do I? So I thought, none of us got any change. The shop's down the road. What if someone sees us? This is how my mind works. What if someone sees me walk away, right? And we'll put a clamp on his car and a big clamp there. If I don't take action for this. And whenever I tell people this, they always think I'm being really stupid. But that's how I think. Someone is waiting round the corner with a clamp to get 50 quid out of my pocket. So the only thing I could do, all three of us, I suppose one of us could just stay. Now that I think about it, one of us could have stayed with the car, couldn't they? When I think about it. But we didn't. So I got a little piece of paper and I wrote, gone to get change and my registration number. I put that in a little plastic bag and posted that through the letterbox. So we walked down to this shop. I bought a bag of crisps in the pound shop for 50p. Now, I don't understand that pound shop now. Well, you used to go in a pound shop and everything was a pound. Not anymore, mate. Poundland it was. Well, the crisps were 50p. Why wasn't that a pound? There was stuff in there, £3.50, £2.50. Where's the pound stuff? There was stuff in there for a pound, but there was other prices as well. Well, it ain't a pound shop anymore then, is it? Why is it still that's Trade in Descriptions Act, isn't it? So we went in there, got my crisps, and then I walked quickly back to the car, worried that I'm going to get this clam, and I went straight over to the little place, and I filled out another little ticket. I put my registration number up, and I wrote £3 on this little bit of paper, put it in the little bag, put my £3 in there, and posted it through the letterbox. Job done. Thank you very much. And I thought, what a dodgy old car park that is. But, if you've got a bit of land next to your bungalow and you can make money out of it, why not? Why not? Good luck to them. That's what I say. Fran's just sent me a message. We have parked in that car park, but we keep changing the car. Well, I'll learn that one, Fran. So we've now parked in the car park. We're coming out and we're walking up. And there's this great big blooming fun fair in front of it. I hate fun fairs. I can't stand it. Bloody things running around and oh Christ. Anyway, and we saw the market. So Martin's decided to do a little video, which is great. So I think you'll probably see that on the Butler's Empire channel. Little video of Inga Miles, and I started walking through this place. And I'd gone there specifically to find. I wanted a pair of. I know it sounds silly, Louis Vuitton trainers. but I don't want to spend £850 on a pair like what they got in Selfridges. The only people buying Louis Vuitton trainers in Selfridges are very rich Arab boys, or at least their sons. They go in and buy 2 or 3 pairs at a time. £850 and more. And more. I heard that you could get all this stuff down Skegness Market. Dirt cheap. So we started walking through there. Martin's doing a video. And very quickly we came across somewhere selling sunglasses. Opposite this roundabout thing. Like fun fair, come market, all in this, a bit weird really. Anyway, Martin's doing a little bit to camera, then he started shoving this bloke's shouting, screaming and shouting, £5, get your Ray-Bans here, £5. No, you can't film me, mate. What? You're not allowed to film me. Yeah, and Martin, of course, you can. Of course you can. You can film in public. And Martin says, no, I think I can. And now that, and the bloke's saying, no, don't film. Now, if he's saying that to us while he's shouting out Ray-Bans, something dodgy is going on there. Better to keep his mouth shut, this bloke. Anyway, give my brother-in-law a bit of abuse, and my brother-in-law told him to F off, as he should have done. Now he's going to the other market. Is he allowed to film here? He's talking to the bloke collecting the rubbish. Is he allowed to film here? Well, it's a public place. You can film anything. Anything. Anyway, we ignored him and just carried on walking. He didn't follow. So we're going through this place, and I'm looking at all this market stuff, and yeah, indeed, there's trainers in there. I didn't see one single pair of Louis Vuitton trainers. I was mortified. What I did see was other trainers that didn't look like designer trainers, and I would have bought a pair, except I now find trainers for £11, £12, £13 on Amazon, and the last pair I bought was from the factory shop in Horncastle, which cost me, I think, £14. And they're quite heavy, those ones. And I got a pair from Amazon for £11. Well, these trainers in this marketplace, generally they're about £20 for the cheapest ones. I thought, well, it seems to be more expensive here. But I didn't really find Louis Vuitton ones. Trainer-wise, I was really disappointed. And then there was a place selling bags, and I thought some of the bags looked a bit like mulberry ones, hundreds of pounds, and they were like 20 or 30 quid, I think. So if you wanted handbags, there seemed to be plenty of those there. But, yeah, I was disappointed. Not only that, but I'm sorry, I don't mean to be nasty. Some of the people walking around there, I mean, they're very, very strange-looking people. And there are whole families of them, and they all look the same. Like, all different ages. There were small people, there were the teenagers, and then, like, the older boys, and then, like, the dads, and then the granddad. And then the same on the female, mum, daughter, daughter's daughter. And they all look the same. There they all are, stuffing their faces with burgers. And I thought, I don't want to go here again. I really didn't like that at all, Ingermoles. Didn't like that place at all. Bit rough and ready, No. But we did go into this fantasy island bit, which is like a few rides and things like that. There was barely anyone in there. It was, apart from the people walking around the market, there was a few of those. I must admit, I didn't really see many people buying stuff. These big markets, and me and my sister, we went in a couple and walked around like the shoe places, like for trainers, looking for these Louis Vuitton trainers, and didn't find any at all. There was a few bits in there, pair of trainers, they're nice. How much are they? 30 quid. And I think, well, why do I want to pay 30 quid for a pair when I can get a pair delivered from Amazon for £11? Happy days. Happy days. So we went in this fantasy island. That was dead. There's no one in there. And we spotted Jamaican food, and they got the old Jamaican flag up there. Is it green and yellow? I think it is up there. And two really, really good-looking lads, an older one and a sort of younger one, I suppose, about 30 and 40, I would say, these two pairs. Can we help you? And my sister she said, do you want anything? And I looked at the board, and I didn't see any vegetarian stuff, so I wasn't particularly hungry. So I was like, no, that's all right. Are you sure? No, that's all right. Anyway, so they ordered 2 of these Jamaican, I think they're not pasties, what are they called? Patties? Jamaican patties? Pasties, something like that. Anyway, they ordered 2 of those. And they came and they started. I said, they look very nice, sis. She said, well, don't you want a vegetarian? I said, it doesn't say vegetarian on there. She says, that's what I said to you. I must have misheard her or something. I don't know. So then she ordered me a vegetarian Jamaican patty, and this boy brought it over. It were delicious. Absolutely delicious. Really spicy. We like spicy. So, and I think that was the first time I've ever had one of those. You know. And then my sister then ordered some jerk chicken, which arrived very quickly. And these two boys were so polite. While we were there, someone came and took their... I think they got one of those, you know, those machines, and it's constantly turning the orange or the Ribena. You know, got two, orange and lemon, whatever they had in there. And these two blokes come along and took one of those away because it wasn't working properly or something like that. These two boys were really, really nice and polite. And when they finished serving, all they seemed to be doing was cleaning. They were just constantly cleaning this little unit that they've got in there. So, again, highly recommended. If you go into this fantasy island bit where there's some rides, like these big balloons, which weren't moving, there was no one on the rides in there. Where that is, there's like a Jamaican... It's obvious. You know, there's two black lads working behind there, and the Jamaican green and yellow sign flag there. Jamaican food or something like that. Absolutely delicious. Highly recommended. I don't know what the price of that was, actually, because my sister bought it for me. And then we walked a bit more through up to the seafront, which was all right. We had a really, really nice ice cream. You know, there's ice creams and there's ice creams, isn't there? And I bought a single Mr. Whippy, a number 99, which I had, and my sister had one as well. And they weren't expensive. They were one of the most delicious ice creams I've ever tasted in my life. You know, I think perhaps there's a knack to how cold you make it and how you pour it. And it wasn't a small one either. You know, they were decent size, so we enjoyed that. We walked up there and I was getting really tired, and it was only about 1:10. I was really tired. So I was meeting my mate, of course, at night. So we then came back through and we got back in the car and went home. And I was just so tired in the car on the way home, I have to tell you. Really knackered. I dropped my sister off and I got back here and I come straight to bed, and I was out like that. And I slept for 2 hours, and then the alarm woke me up, and then I had to drive to Cleethorpes. So that was Ingermill's. Absolutely ghastly place. Don't want to go there again, thank you very much. No, didn't like it there at all. No, very, very odd. Anyone else been there? Fran, do you like it there? Do you, Fran, or not? Hello to... Oh, look who it is. It's our friend in Israel. Hello to you, my darling. Who's crashing this channel? Is it? What do you mean crashing? Who's crashing it? I don't know what you mean, darling. Who's crashing this channel? Guess who's... Are you coming to London next week, Elaine? Elaine's in the house. She's all the way from Israel. Hello, Elaine. Are you coming next week? Coming to London, London town. Have you ever been to London before, Elaine? That's Escal 1960. She does a little radio show over in Israel there. Wonderful to see you. John Parrish says Mersey Island is fantastic. I don't know. Well, obviously in Mersey, is it? Okay, thank you, John. Tommy Flynn, fish and chip shops, Seashell Lisson Grove is beautiful. Don't know that one, Thomas. That is somewhere I could go. Lisson Grove, is that West London, Thomas? Not exactly sure where that is. Gary Ross, that's right. Rate my takeaway. Big Danny. What a nice man he is, isn't he, eh? Big Danny. All these people want to have their photos taken with him. He went to the Mega Chippy. It looks stinking. John Parrish has mentioned some other fish and chip shops. Salty Towers, the Codmother, the Frying Scotsman. There's loads. There's loads. Evening, there's Chrissy baby. Evening, Chris Tuoy. Evening, Chris. Hello to you. Naked HD Fun Best Adult Dating Site. Who's that? let's he's been hidden. Yeah, someone's sending rude stuff on it. We get that sometimes. Don't worry too much about it. Our delightful moderators will look after those people. Don't worry about that, Elaine. Okay, my darling. Chris says you do have a strange mind, as you well know, Chris. As you well know, dear, I have a very strange mind. All right. So Elaine's coming to London. What are you going to do there? She says, I'm going to lose my virginity in London. Sorry? Oh, I beg your pardon. With Barry Manilow at the O2. My very first... Is that your very first Barry Manilow concert? Oh, wow. I'm really sorry to have to tell you, I'm not seeing him at the O2. I'm in Cardiff. Because it had very, very good price on the front row tickets in Cardiff. So I won't be going to the O2, I'm sorry to tell you. But you'll have a wonderful time, Elaine. You will absolutely love it there, my darling. All right? Excellent. Okay, if you want to send us a text, 07451 287 337. If you send me a little text that way, you will jump the queue as well. All right? Now, Inga moles will be for some people. Some people will like it. Indeed, I looked it up on TripAdvisor, and someone who'd only just been there a couple of days ago says there are... Now, I said to you, I didn't find the designer stuff. You know, me and my sister, we walked around a couple of the shops, none to be found. We couldn't find what we wanted, or at least I couldn't find what I wanted. And this person, there was a family of 5 who say there are lots of stalls selling clothes, handbags and shoes, but they are all the same and have the same prices too, so there's no competition, but do try haggling. And that's true. Okay, all the shops that are there are selling exactly the same stuff, right? Not all of it. You know, a high proportion of the shops are all selling the same trainers, the same flip-flops, the same T-shirts, and they are all the same price. Now, this person says there's certainly plenty of fake label merchandise. Copies of Gucci, Versace, Michael Kors. I remember seeing Michael Kors. Don't remember saying Gucci or Versace. The bags and shoes are not bad, but the clothing does seem low quality. There are a couple of stores selling past seasons clothing from Marks & Spencer's, Boohoo, River Island, but they are obviously designs that were not bestsellers and only appeal to the minority. The market's clean and tidy inside, but the route to the car park is narrow and untidy, so we didn't go to that car park. We went to the £4 one. She says she or he says there are reportedly over 320 stores, but I doubt there's anywhere near that, maybe 75 or 100. But it feels like that because there's so much of the same merchandise. There are makeup and toy stores and an indoor market selling household items. We did go in there. We kind of went in the front door and realised it was just all like paper towels and bog rolls and that sort of thing. She says it's a bit like a poorer quality Poundland. Towels, bedding, sparkly bling furniture, such as dining tables and sofas. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the sparkly bling furniture. I quite liked it, I'll be honest with you. And it was bling. It says marble top. Well, it's anything. It's not bleed marble. It's plastic. Looks like marble. Looked very nice, actually. And they had these settees with, I kid you not, you know, sparkly, like you get out that tube and make cards with. they had settees and chairs with that on the front. It's ghastly, but I liked it. She goes on to say it's okay for somewhere to go past a couple of hours, but if you are that EA, I don't know what she's saying there. It does get busy, and the amount of kids wandering around crying because they are tired or bored was a bit sad to see. Maybe that's what made me tired walking around there. Because I didn't enjoy it. You know, it was my idea to go, but I really didn't enjoy going. I felt I wasted a day, to be honest. There were lots of mobility scooters and pushchair users who seemed to think they could do as they like and cut people up. So we ended up with a few scrape. You find that, don't you, these people? These people in their scooters. And, of course, they would say to you, well, you should get out of the way. That's what they'd say to you, you know. She says, I would visit again if I were that way, but certainly wouldn't make a special trip to go. There's another one here. Been here before and it's all gone downhill. Most of the stalls sell the same goods. Not enough choice. Toilets are hard to find. Well, fortunately, we didn't need the toilet. Well, wear a nappy, you know. Then you won't have to look for a toilet, will you? There's another one here. Great day out. October 2021. Great interesting market. Lots of varieties. Good car parking. And so off. And here's another one, Chav Central, full of cheap, tacky rubbish and fake goods. So many stalls just selling the same things. It's Chav Central too, with prerequisite men in tracksuits and thick fake gold chains, and the women in leggings and 5 layers of makeup and painted on eyebrows. We saw all them. And not forgetting the staffy dogs. Years ago, this place was so much better. Now it's totally gone downhill. So that's Ingermoles. And my opinion, don't waste your money. Don't waste your time going there. Horrible place. Horrible place. All right. Oh, it's 9:05. Shall we open the phone line? Let's open the phone line. Sometimes calling into this particular little studio doesn't always work as well as calling into the other place because I don't have such a fast internet connection. But the line is open if you want to call in. There's my phone number, 020 8144 3477 is my local London number. It's not a premium rate number if you want to call in. Try your luck. 020 8144 3477 is my number. Tommy Flynn says Seashell Listen Grove is just off the Marylebone Road before King's Cross. Lady Diana sent her driver there every Friday. Black cabbies use it all the time. Oh, it must be good then if the cabbies are using it. Fish and chips is only £10. See, I think, fish and chips at £10 does sound quite a lot of money to me. Fish and chips, £10. I remember buying fish and chips for £4 or less, isn't it? That's the way it goes. All right, phone lines open, 020 8144 3477. And talking of dinners, now I showed you my dinner that I had last night, that one there, okay? I must ask you this question. Now, it's pretty disgusting, boys and girls, if I'm honest. Okay? The other day, I was in my house back down in Bracknell and I made my dinner, large dinner, chips, oven chips in the oven. I had corn nuggets, which is the same as chicken nuggets, but no dead animals. And I had very large amount of vegetables. Oh, Christ, has that gone off again? Hang on a minute. We do have a little bit of a problem with this. Hang on. Let me just try that again. So otherwise it'll jump. There we go. All right, there we are. That's working now. There we are. Quite a big heap of vegetables, and it was all covered in tomato sauce, and I mean covered in tomato sauce, right? So I put it on the tray, and I've taken it into the living room, put it on the side of the chair, and got my tea, and I put my tea down, and somehow I managed to turn around in a way that my elbow knocked the tray, and the entire dinner ended up on the floor in front of me, on the carpet, plate upside down on top of it. Not a little bit, the entire dinner. And I just spent, half an hour, well, fair enough, the oven had already done it while I was walking back from the swimming pool. And I thought, you must be joking. I thought, I'll have to just do some beans or something like that, because I was hungry now. You know when you've done a dinner and you're now ready for that dinner. You've put off having a bag of crisps before the dinner, haven't you? Right? You've put off those crisps and you do stuff, and there it's in front, and it's on the carpet in front of me. I thought, shall I pick that up now and then go and do some beans and something? Beans or burgers. Well, it's going to be another 15 minutes now, which isn't a long time, is it? But you're ready for your dinner, aren't you? Or shall I do the dinner and leave it on the floor and scrape it up afterwards? And I thought, I'll scrape it up now. And I've picked it, literally, the only way to do it was a lot of food. Vegetables all out on my carpet in front of me. And I've got my hands like that. And it was hot, it was still hot underneath. Oh, it's hot, and I put it on the plate, picking all this up, put it on the plate, picking up the little bits around it, put it on the plate. So I've picked up the plate now to take it out to the bin. And I thought, how dirty can this food be? I hoover my carpet once or twice a week, usually in the living room. I don't wear my shoes in the house. They come off in the kitchen. And I looked at my dinner and I thought, well, I can't see any fluff on it. And I thought, sod it. And I sat back down, avoiding the peas and couple of peas and bits of carrots and things on the carpet in front of me. And the tomato sauce, by the way, tomato sauce as well on the carpet. I put it on my lap and I thought, I try a little bit. And do you know what? It was fine. I had the whole lot. I'd scooped it off the carpet with both hands, like that. Anyone else do that? Isn't that disgusting? Come on, someone must have done that. We're not talking about the kitchen floor here, where you might have dropped a chip or two on the kitchen floor and quickly ate those up. Gary Ross says, Gary, the cat's airing it. Well, Gary, don't come into the house. I don't have any pets in the house. Dark Side says, any more than the 2-second rule is a no-no. That 2-second rule, that's a load of old crap, that is. 2-second rule. Mate, if you've dropped it on the floor, it's become infected. Whether it's down there 1 second or 20 seconds, it's become infected. But I decided to take the risk, and here I am, still sitting here at this moment. Thank you very much. And you know why? Because I am a clean person, and the carpet gets hoovered. Thank you. And you know what? That entire dinner that had been on the carpet, there was no fluff in it at all. Nothing. That's strange. Why was there no fluff in it? One of those things. Well, I can see that no one else has ever done that. People are probably disgusted by what I just said, are you? Go on, be honest. I don't mind if you were. John Parrish says, easy, just eat it off the floor, saves money. Yeah, that would have saved me washing the thing up, John. You're absolutely right. Have you ever had a meal off a floor? The Indians do it all the time, don't they? And the Chinese, they sit on the floor and have their dinner. Or they have, is it the Japanese? They have, I think you've been to Japan, haven't you, John? Don't they have like tea party? Or is that the Chinese? Or both of them? They have tea parties sitting on the floor, don't they? It's like a ceremony, isn't it? Was there any toenails, says Jason? Fortunately not, because when I do my toenails on the carpet, and I usually do a foot spa first to soften the nails, because you don't want brittle nails. Well, it's terrible, isn't it? Trying to cut your nails when they're brittle. Eh? Not good. I have a foot spa first, usually for an hour, and then I cut my nails on the carpet, and as soon as I've finished, out comes the Hoover. Thank you very much. You know. Well, actually, I put a towel underneath the foot spa. Then when I finish the foot spa, well, I empty that, and then I have my feet on the towel, and I cut my nails on that. And they usually end up in the towel, and then I go and shake it outside in the garden. Like adding to the fertiliser that's already out and making my plants nice and big. My nails are helping the environment. And then I hoover. So it is quite clean in there, but still, I was surprised that I didn't get any fluff at all in my mouth. There's no bogies, Jason. It's not like sitting in a public toilet. You look. Why do people do that? Dirty, disgusting people in public toilets, and you're sitting there, and I hate using a public toilet, especially if the wall doesn't go all the way down and there's a gap at the top and the bottom. Disgusting. You can hear the person next to you. It's awful. George is on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
How are you tonight, George? All right?
I was until you told me that. I've just been sick in the toilet.
You've been sick in the toilet? Is there a video of that at all?
No.
Oh, you missed an opportunity there. You get loads of videos, loads of viewers for stuff like that. Lots of likes. Lots of likes. Have you ever eaten your dinner off the floor, George?
No.
Oh, you should try it. You should try it. Huh?
We can't. We can't. We got cats.
You got cats? Well, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can share it.
No.
Why is that then?
Because it wouldn't be nice.
Oh, poor little cats.
Yeah. I've been to Fancy Island before.
Have you? Did you like it there?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't like it, George.
because you get cheap fishing stuff there.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't my cup of tea at all, that place. I didn't like the people walking around.
That was one issue what I had.
It's a weird thing, George. Usually, there's nothing better than seeing a straight lad out, sort of about 35, walking with a grey tracksuit. They're all really good looking. Not at Ingermoles, they're not. I'm sorry, they're not. There weren't any good looking people there, only me.
No comment.
What have you been doing, George? Do tell us.
I've been doing a lot of archery.
Right, okay.
As I've seen you liked one of my pictures.
Yes. What are your archery pictures?
Yes. That was actually took on... Did
Pardon?
you just snort then?
What?
Did you just snort?
Oh, did you hear that? Oh, no, you would have heard that. They wouldn't have heard that. Yeah, now and again, I've got a button here. Right, if I do this... See, they couldn't hear that. You could still hear that.
Yeah.
Because I talk to you through a different microphone. You can hear everything when you're on a Skype call, but they can't hear that because I push a button. Good evening to Glenda. There's our lovely Glenda in America. Hello, Glenda. Better late than never, Glenda. Never mind, dear.
Yes. Yeah, that was took on last Saturday. That was
Right.
that picture.
Right, okay.
Yes. I forgot to record it to show you on your live stream.
Oh, right, okay. Well, don't worry. You
Yeah.
don't keep sending in archery videos because they're kind of all the same, Something new. Just send us in something. Perhaps something of you fishing, maybe. In one of your lakes, you could do a little fishing video.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I ain't got a tripod. I need to get myself a tripod.
Well, maybe you can balance the camera somewhere. Obviously, keep it away from the water because you don't want to lose your phone in the pond, do you? I'm sure that's happened a few times to people. I'm surprised that my brother-in-law didn't have his camera nicked while he was walking around Ingermoles. They look like those sort of people that would nick stuff from you.
Yeah. Going right off subject.
Yes.
Do you have it's called a church warden at your church?
No, that's Church of England.
Okay, because I'm the second church warden
Right.
of my church where I go to.
Yes.
I can't think what it's called now. Seps in Northampton.
Okay.
Yeah. Seps in Northampton, if anybody's heard of that.
No. Okay, go on.
I can't actually say the whole word. I can try. Holy Sepulchre. The whole word is.
Secular.
No, Holy Sepulchre.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say the whole word. But the short word is Seps.
Right.
Yes. And I'm the second warden, so...
You're the second warden, are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, I help the first warden if he needs any help.
Right, I understand. Yes, okay. No, it's the Church of England that has church wardens. We don't have that in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Are you the one that holds? Does the church warden? Do they hold this stick thing in front as the vicar comes up? That's what they do, isn't it? That's one of their things that they do.
But we don't have a vicar though.
Oh well, who does the services then?
We have to rent one out.
What?
Because we have to rent a vicar out.
You rent a vicar?
Yeah.
Blimey, I've heard of rent boys, but rent vicars, that's a new one on me.
Because apparently
Do they really? You have to rent a vicar. Well, what? So you have to pay someone to come to you?
Yeah,
Oh, how weird is that?
because apparently we don't have enough.
Eh?
Apparently we don't have enough money to have a vicar.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
in the Catholic Church. What's happening there is that they don't have enough priests, and sometimes you'll have one priest look after 3 or 4 churches.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, that's my church where I go to now.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for calling in today, George.
Yeah.
Have a lovely evening.
Okay.
Ta-ra now.
Okay. Bye.
There's our lovely George. Always nice to hear from George, isn't it, eh? You want to call in 0208 144 3477 is my local is my local London number. There we are. Good. Stephen Dagenham says my mother-in-law needs bolt croppers to cut her toenails. Is that right? Mine are quite brutal. One, I get I don't know what it's called. You know, the virus is under the nails, and it's caused by the swimming. Yeah, I do take great care drying my feet, and I know it's the swimming because when I wasn't swimming, when we had the lockdown, it completely stopped. One of my toenails gets all white underneath it, and you have to start painting this bloody stuff on. It's a pain in the arse. If you get more than sort of 3 nails, I think they put you on peels to get rid of it, but I don't think they like to use those peels at all. Back to the tea ceremonies are in Japan and China, apparently. Very nice. Yes, I thought they were. Well, tea ceremonies there. Good. What else have we got here? Never leave your phone unattended with small people around. Now, I often make this mistake. Right? Now, they can't unlock the phone to see whatever you've got on there, bank details or anything like that. But they can take photos when the phone is locked. And once again, it happened while we were at the having dinner with Harry and Evie. And only today, I've suddenly discovered all these pictures have appeared on my phone. So we can have a little look at these. Maybe I can speed those up a bit because there's so many of them. Properties, is it properties? Oh, I don't know how to do it now. Maybe once I've set it up. Let's see. Properties, does that work? Oh yeah, that works. Hang on. Let's change that to sort of 3. There we go. 3. There we go. And then you'll be able to see them all fairly quickly. Right, off you go. That's Harry in various different states of madness. That's the chip shop behind there. As you can see, they've got the Jubilee bunting up as well. And Evie should be popping up in a moment or two, I hope, as well. See. Aren't they funny? Here comes Evie. And they've obviously nicked my camera while I was in there buying their dinners. Have you got any experience of this at all? Leaving your phone unattended, eh? I think she looks like she's got an ulcer on the end of her tongue there. And then back to Harry again. So there you go, gang. Do be warned if you ever leave your phone around and there's small people around. You may well have locked it. They can't look. They can't look at your photos, but they can still take photos themselves for you to discover sometime later when you sit at home on your own. All right. What else is today? Let me have a look here. And I showed you those sheep. Did I show you the sheep earlier on? The sheep that they wanted to go and stroke these. Rather you than me. Actually, Evie and Harry actually went in there. There were some sheep that didn't have such large horns. That's not the bit where they went into. These are other sheep there, right? There was some sheep on the other side of the path, which is not next to the river. And they actually went in to stroke those. But of course, every time you get near a sheep, they just walk off. They sit there. You get quite close to this shit, chewing it. And you know, as Evie, they've got no idea, these two. They just walk up to them like it. Now, no, go slowly. You've got to go very slowly and talk to them. And even then, they just wander off, these sheep, when you get too close. You got closer and closer. This sheep chewing away. And then when it stops chewing, you know it's about to bolt. And Evie took another step forward and off the sheep went. So you can't be doing those. Right. How would you like the idea of taking a car? We'll close the phone lines now as no one's called in today. We've had George, but that's it. Thanks so much for calling in there, George. Has that phone number gone off there? There we go. Phone number's gone off there. Oh, if you want to send a tip, they got a new way of tipping now. If you're interested, what's it called? There's some other way of tipping now, I gather. Can anyone see it? I can't remember what it's called. My brother-in-law was talking about it the other day. And he said you have to have it switched on. And I think it is switched on, but I'm not quite sure what it is. What's this? It says insert ad. How do I insert an ad then? And why would I want to do that? Does it at the end, doesn't it? Shall we have an advert? I don't know how this works. I'm just going to push this button and see what happens. So there's an ad now that's been inserted, but I'm not quite sure. Has that stopped you seeing me? It says ad inserted. Now, I don't know. Does that thing go off to tell me when the ad has stopped? I kind of wish I hadn't pushed it now. Can you still hear me all right? Am I still with you? Did you see an advert then? What have I done now? That blue little light is still on. It still says ad inserted. I don't know if I've got to wait for the ad to finish or not. Or just carry on. Someone tell me, are we with you? Gary Ross pays for ad-free YouTube. I want my money back. Have you just got an ad? Have you just got one, Gary? Brew a bit, Rickshaw. Good evening. No, we can still see you, thankfully. Hi. Oh, I don't know what that means then. It says ad inserted, and it like a blue light has come on, but the blue light hasn't gone off. But apparently nothing's happened, so we don't worry too much about that. Oh, well. Okay, hello to Danny in Dagenham. Hello, Danny. Oh, we've got Steve in Dagenham as well, Danny. Did you know that? My dad picks his eyebrows and rubs them against his lips. What, I do like that? You know, I do that with nose hairs. I seriously, I do that with, I do that. I try and get a nose hair, and then to check that I've got it, I just put it against my lip to see if it pokes me, and then I know I've got that nasty hair out that's made me all itchy. We do some discuss. So far today, I've told you I eat my dinner off the floor. And I pull hairs out of my nose and poke them in my lips. What piece of information will you receive next, I wonder? Don't tune away. It might be even worse than that. Thank you, Vera. No ads here. It says thanks at the bottom of the screen next to likes. Oh, there's a thanks bottom at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Now, I don't know what happens when you press that. I really don't know what happens if you press that thanks button. Okay? I've no idea, but someone try it and see what happens. Don't blame me if it sucks some money out your account, though, because I really don't know what happens there. Stephen Dagenham, yes, I came out, but the ad was 31 minutes. I don't know. Let's see if that little light is still on. It's still on. It says ad inserted. What if I click it again? Now it's gone off. Oh, I don't know. Now another ad has gone. Well, we're learning stuff tonight. Good evening to nephew Gary Butler. Project Man is in the house. Good evening, Gary. Would you like to take your car up to your room? Now, I've got to show you these pictures. You will be amazed by these flats. They're in Miami. Okay? The story came out in the mail yesterday. I thought, I can't wait to show people this. This is fabulous. The name Bentley, this is in the Daily Mail, is synonymous with luxury motoring. Now, wouldn't you love a Bentley? Steve Allen, one of the LBC presenters, he does the early morning breakfast show, 4 till 6:30 a.m. he does. He's got a Bentley. In fact, he's just bought a new one. I don't know if it's a brand new one or it's a second-hand one. I prefer that. Oh, I prefer the older ones. You know, I've always said, if I ever won the lottery or, you know, had a load of money to spend, I would, and I could have any car I wanted. I would have an old Bentley. Classy car. I'm not interested in Porsches or Lamborghinis or Ferraris. They're for the silly little boys that go up and down Kensington High Street, dear. With that noise. Don't want anything like that. A lovely Bentley. Classy car. Old-fashioned Bentley. Yes, please. Luxury motoring. Anyway, now the famous British car maker is lending its name to property with a new high-end development in Miami where prices start at £3.4 million. Will you be buying one of those at all? John Parrish could buy one. He's got a load of dosh in it. He just don't like spending it anymore. Things are tight, he says. Please do me a favour, John. The development will be on Collins Avenue in Sunny Isles Beach, the billionaire's row of South Florida. It's called Bentley Residences and is a joint venture between Deezer Development and Bentley Motors. There will, however, be a long wait before the buyers can experience the luxury of their new home, as the development will not be finished for another 4 years in 2026. Pictures of what it will look like have been revealed, giving a highly realistic peek inside. Are you ready for these pictures? Here we go, look. Look at that view. By the looks of it, it's got a swimming pool next to it as well. That's the bedroom. I've always liked the idea of having a bedroom with a full window like that. You know, obviously with curtains so that you can... And there's your car. That's a car lift. That's your house there, right? That car has come up to your floor and you can park it in your own flat. Look at that. Come on. Wow. Bentley Residences will be the tallest... There's the size of it. Remember, these are just pictures, okay, that they've painted, whatever. Bentley Residences will be the tallest oceanfront tower in America with 62 floors. There would be 216 homes for sale, with each 3 bedrooms flat having waterfront views, an individual outdoor pool. Oh, so that was a pool, I thought it was. Outdoor shower and a sauna. But perhaps the most opulent feature is a dedicated area for several cars that sits on the same level as each flat, which is accessed via a car lift. It's just fantastic. And you're in Florida. I quite like Florida. The car elevator lifts residents and their cars from the ground level into the 3 to 4 car private garage directly next to each flat. The parking spaces are aimed at providing plenty of privacy for high profile and celebrity buyers, including those who want to escape the paparazzi. And of course, you know, I get that all the time, to be honest. I am constantly surrounded by people with cameras. I mean, just ask Martin, my brother-in-law, and my sister. It was happening in Ingermoles yesterday. People, you know, pulling at my clothing, wanting a picture. It was either that or they trying to nick something from me. I'm not quite sure which. It says it means that residents can leave and return to their flats without being photographed by a single paparazzi or fan, so long as their cars have tinted windows. You just go into the block of flats, push a button, and you go up to your floor. And it's crazy, that, isn't it? Can I put the pictures back on for you? Can I put these pictures back on for you? It's just amazing. This look at the pool. You're just at the bottom of the screen there. Your own swimming pool there. I'd love to have something like that. I mean, you'd never get tired of that view, would you? You imagine, like, though, and I suppose Florida, they get hurricanes, so I suppose there's some sort of hurricane proofing going on there. Inside the building, it includes a whiskey room, a lounge, a private cinema, a restaurant, a game room with golf and driving simulators, and private cabanas. I don't know what the cabanas are. How would you fancy something like that, boys and girls, to live in, eh? Blooming wonderful, that. I'd love something like that. It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it, eh? Derek says an ad did come on when you pressed that button earlier. It's interesting. I don't know how that works, that whole ad thing there. All right. Gary Ross reckons the lift would break if my van was in it. That Citroen van was in it. Is it not a good van? No. Dan Woodhouse says he can see that happening in Romford. Maybe so. Oh, and the thing is, would it be strong enough to hold a car and Gemma Collins on the same floor? That's the question, eh? Dear me. Danny in Dagenham. My mum works at a doctor's surgery and claims she's always so busy, but every time I go in there, it's empty and she's sat there doing nothing. It reminds me of a little conversation it's gone now. We had a dry cleaners near where I live, and my mate used to take his stuff in there and have it ironed and all. He don't do the stuff himself. He pays people to do the garden, pays someone to do the ironing and the washing. Anyway, and we went in this dry cleaners with some stuff, and the woman wasn't in there. Mrs. Patval, I think it's not Patel, Patval, lovely lady, always very pleasant when we went in there. And this young lad's in there, quite good looking lad. We're giving him the stuff. Thanks very much. There's your ticket, boys. Thanks very much. Where's your mum? Where's the lady today? Oh, and he said, oh, that's my mum. She's down at the laundrette. We've got a laundrette as well. All right. I said, she work hard down there? He says, you must be joking. She just sits there eating biscuits and talking to her friends. Thank you, Danny. Vera wants to know, stop fiddling with buttons. Leave it alone. What? I haven't done anything. What have I done? Oh, the ad buttons. The ad buttons, you mean? The ad buttons. Is that your new mic I can see? Yes, it is. This is a new microphone. There you go. Here's the old one. There's the old one. This was the one that was making all sorts of strange noises. That's the old one there. Here's a new one. I can take that. It's got a little light on it, this one. Hang on a minute. You'll get a bit of a rough noise here. Hang on. There you go. It's got a red light on it, which means on air. See? Does that make much difference when I take that off? It's not distorting at all, is it? I did have a little red light flash. So it's a bit smaller than the other one, as you can see, right? But it sounds exactly the same to you, doesn't it? You know, unless you're sort of listening on a very expensive hi-fi system, it won't make much difference. But there's the new one, and it's got a little light on the front. I think it picks up the sound from the front and the back. I'll twist it. You can see the little light. There you go. There's a light on the front. Can you see that little light on there? And if I was to turn it off, the light goes out. All right. It's actually green. Look at that. Oh, that's strange, isn't it? Green and red. So hang on a minute. It looks red to me. Must be just the way it is. All right. That's a new microphone. £25 that was. Very pleased with that. Because the old one was about 100. Well, the old one is now about 130 quid. You can buy all sorts of different microphones, actually, Vera, as you well know. I mean, not exactly the quality of the BBC ones, but there's Neumann, Neumann microphones, £5,000, £6,000, £7,000. You know, and actually, you know, if I bought one of those, it would be a tax-deductible item, but my disco business makes very, very little amount of money. My tax year is April to March, my tax year, and we're now in June, and my disco business has made about £400 in all that time. You know, once you take out the stuff that you buy and then put your wages in, the difference is about £400, which is just awful. Not like it was years ago, but that's okay because I was, you know, careful with my money, and the property side of the stuff I do is works quite well. All right. Anytime you want to ask us any questions, by the way, boys and girls, just feel free. Send them over, okay? What have we got here? We've had a bit of common sense from the European Union at last. You've always heard the story of was it ice cream that we can't call ice cream anymore because it hasn't actually got any cream in it, and bent carrots, something to do with sausages and all this business. we always used to moan about the EU, didn't we? And now they told us what was what all the time. Well, they've actually come out with something sensible. Story in the Daily Star yesterday. All phones must have the same charging port by 2024 or will be banned under new EU laws designed to stop users forking out on multiple chargers for their devices. This is fantastic news. You know, we've also had these bloody sockets changed over the years, haven't we? You remember when they changed them on the iPhone? But of course, you know, if you've got an Android or an iPhone or something else, they can all have different sockets. Not after 2024, the EU have said. Well done. Daily Star says Apple could be forced to redesign the iPhone to fit a standard USB-C charger, which is used by Android and Samsung devices, as well as dozens of others. The agreement, which is due to go through the European Parliament after summer, will demand that all companies use the same charger for phones and smaller devices by autumn 2024. This is great news. I mean, you can still buy little MP3 players, don't you? Well, they're all going to have the same charge according to this. It will mean that old iPhone chargers won't work on future models, and their laptops will eventually have to have the USB-C charger standard as well. Devices sold before 2024 cut-off won't be affected by the ruling. Well, you can't go backwards on that anyway, can you? What are you going to do? Tell us we can't use them anymore? That was so stupid. That's not going to happen. Apple have criticised the proposals in the past, claiming it stifles innovation. What, you mean it stifles the way you keep designing sockets and things like that to sell us more crap? That's what it means, dear. Apple are horrendously expensive now. That's some of their stuff, aren't they? Buy refurbished. Refurbished. You get refurbished iPhones, refurbished laptops, refurbished iMac, iMacs, are they? Air Max. Something like Air iPhones. I can't remember what they're called now. An Apple spokesman told CNBC in September, we remain concerned that strict regulation mandating just one type of connector stifles innovation rather than encouraging it, which will in turn harm consumers in Europe around the world. Yes, and you won't sell so many chargers, will you, my loves? Eh? Apparently, according to a Bloomberg report, Apple is already testing iPhones with USB-C ports, suggesting that the tech giant is already getting ready for the changes. So I think that's really good news. The fact that, because we've had this with so many stuff over the years. Remember the old Betamax and VHS and all that business going on. And, okay, Apple computers and PCs, or which one do you check? Which one do you buy? I've always said that Apple computers, I don't have an Apple computer. And I won't ever have one. It's all very well. You get these people on Facebook telling you, you know, Apple, oh, you should change to an Apple computer. You know, they're far superior. And I think they are, actually. But to change everything over to a new system is not a small task. It really isn't. So bear in mind, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 PCs, 2 refurbished ones, which were here, much cheaper than buying new, okay? 4 PCs, and I've got 2 laptops, one of which was a refurbished one, okay, and a very old one, which brings you the karaoke stream. I'd have to change all those to Apple and move everything across. Ain't going to happen. Once you've bought into a system, it's very difficult to come out of it, even though the next thing, and these people on Facebook who tell you, oh, no, you're doing the wrong thing. No, this is what you should do. They don't think of the hassle that would cause. Yes, of course, you'd move everything across eventually, but I couldn't be bothered with it. George Bond, don't forget AirPods. AirPods as well. Yes, AirPods as well. That would have to have, the charger would have to be a little socket on there, George, as well. No, one of the new, was it USB-C or something like that? Glenda wants to know, did you get a boyfriend yet, Chris? No, Glenda. It's never going to happen, is it, my love? It's not going to happen, Glenda. It's one of those things, you know. I mean, I keep whistling at scaffolders, you know. The trouble is I can't whistle, so I don't think they can hear me. Brew a bit rickshaw says microphones have bamboozled me. Tried a few cheaper ones for my YouTube channel. If I had the money, I'd have the same as Project Man. He knows his tech. Oh, he's got is it a Rode? The one that he clips. So they're very good. They are Rode ones. I can't think if he's got wireless one or another one. Actually, those Rode microphones are very good. These, as I say, this is the Behringer C1. And they're about £25. But it depends on your setup, you see. If you're not sitting in a studio doing live and you want to do like Gary does with his... he actually uses he hasn't got a GoPro camera. He uses his Huawei phone. And the mic like that. Well, you couldn't... If you know, unless you're sitting down doing something like this, you'd need something more portable, like the little thing that you pin. I haven't got one here. Little thing that you pin to yourself as well, isn't it, eh? All right. Right, have we done there? Was that all those little messages there? Let me have a look there. That's all those messages there. And, okay. One more story for you today, boys and girls. Two stories, actually. These are the pills we've been waiting for, or certainly the drugs we've been waiting for. This is good news. The Daily Mail has reported a new colorectal cancer drug has shocked researchers with how effective it is against a highly dangerous disease after it virtually cured every member of a clinical trial. This is brilliant news. It's called dostarlimab, a monoclonal antibody drug that's already approved to treat endometrial cancer in the UK. I'll be honest, I don't know what that is. Endometrial cancer. I don't know what that is. Okay? It says 1 year after the trial ended, each of the 18 participants' cancer had gone into remission, with doctors unable to find signs at all of the cancer anywhere in their body. Isn't that brilliant? It says while the trial was small, it's considered game-changing and sets up the drug as a potential cure for one of the most dangerous common cancers known. And that's just brilliant, isn't it? I've got a feeling colorectal. That sounds like a bum thing, doesn't it? It sounds like a bum. Oh, there's a picture there. Yeah, it's in the, not, you know, how do I say this without, I'll just tell you how it is. Right, not exactly where the hole is. You've got to go in and up a bit, round a corner, and it's there. That's where you are. So not quite where the very last hole is in your bum. No, up a bit and sort of round a corner, and that's apparently where you find this particular cancer. That's brilliant news, isn't it? But that's not the only piece of brilliant news. You know, even those of you that, like, watch your weight and that sort of thing, don't you wish you could take a pill and eat anything that you want? I mean, I'd be just sitting here with the Ben & Jerry's ice cream that I mentioned earlier, bars of chocolate, bags of cheese and onion crisps. Now and again, I'd have some vegetables, you know, just to keep everything moving. Is that doing it for you or not? Well, there's another new bit of good news here. This was in the Daily Mail as well. Came out this morning. A game-changing diabetes drug may help obese people shed up to a fifth of their body weight. That's saying something, isn't it, eh? Participants given a once-a-week jab of this particular drug, alongside a diet and exercise regime, lost 3 stone 10 pounds on average during a 72-week trial. 3 stone 10 pounds. The drug works by mimicking hormones in the body that help people feel full and satisfied after a meal, which are often at low levels in obese patients. They just don't feel full. You know, I've met people before and they have 2 dinners and they're still hungry afterwards. Researchers split 2,500 overweight and obese people who did not have diabetes into 4 groups. They were either given... Can I just blow my nose? Oh, I haven't got a tissue. Never mind, we're nearly finished. Researchers split 2,500 overweight and obese people who did not have diabetes into 4 groups. More than half the participants in the highest dose group lost 20% of their body weight by the end of the trial. But they are still saying there, you know, they were given these jabs alongside a diet and exercise regime. So you've still got to cut back on... Oh, maybe it's not as good as I thought it would be. I thought they... I thought they'd bought something out so we could just eat whatever we wanted in future and forget everything else. Alrighty, boys and girls, that's it for the show tonight. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Where's my bit of music? There we are. Can you hear that? Is that on? That's it. You can hear the music now. There we are. That's it for the show tonight. Thanks ever so much for joining us, boys and girls. Another chat show for you next week at the same time, 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. Now, if you're around tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a little radio show tomorrow at Music, Chat and Fun at reachonair.com, okay? Starts just after the 9 o'clock news tomorrow morning, 9 till 10 o'clock. Just go to reachonair.com. You can listen on your smart speaker. Say Amazon, say the word for Amazon, play radio station, Reach on Air, and she should play it for you, okay? If it doesn't work the first time, just tell her to stop and then try again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks so much to George for calling in, and thank you for watching. Good night now.